Most folk stories begin with the whimsical rustle of leaves, but for Bilal, the forest is a grueling, unforgiving economic battleground. He lives deep in the rural outskirts, where every branch collected is a calculated move against starvation. This chart shows the steady crash of the local timber economy since his grandfather's time. Where woodcutting was once a high-demand necessity, the modern pivot to iron and industrial materials has gutted the market, leaving raw timber at a historic low. Bilal's labor is driven by a stark human tally. A widowed sister with a hungry child, an aging mother whose asthma attacks go untreated. The family cannot afford a full course of medicine. Life is measured in the salt of his skin and the punishing weight of a rusted iron axe. No room for imagination when your body is a machine used to extract a few cents from the earth's world. Magic is a luxury of the elite. Bilal's reality is defined strictly by the absolute, painful laws of physical survival. The forest provides the only free timber left, but it requires a solitary existence. Bilal built a mud and wood cabin here, a crude, physical boundary designed to keep the predators of the wild at bay. He stays stalking a massive, ancient argent tree, hoping its yield will finally secure his mother's medicine. Begins the harvest, the sky turns a bruised purple, signaling an incoming storm. Rain and the sheer physical effort of felling the giant tree strip away his remaining energy. Soaked to the bone and shivering, his body pushed to the absolute limit of human endurance. Focused on the mechanics of his own survival, that he is completely blindsided when the dark forest begins to warp around him. The forest goes silent. The rain still falls, but the sound of it hitting the leaves vanishes. Scent of rot fills the air, and a darkness more profound than any natural night swallows the path. A patrol of headless horsemen in royal armor emerges from the trees at a terrifying speed, their mounts' hooves floating inches above the forest floor without disturbing a single dry leaf. The laws of physics have buckled. A supernatural war has bled into the timberland, out of his daily economic struggle and into a conflict that defies human logic. Bilal abandons his axe and his timber, running through thorns and mud. He's driven by a primal instinct to reach the only sanctuary he knows. The rules no longer apply. He will have to navigate a dimension he was never meant to witness. Crawling roots of an ancient tree, he finds the source of the anomaly. Citratul sits huddled in the dark, her entire form radiating a blinding, cold, blue-white light, is paralyzed with shock. In the gym, humans biologically incapable of true form or the threads of their garments. The veil between their worlds is maintained by the static of human greed and deceit. Bilal has lived a life of such grueling, unwavering honesty, taking and never coveting more. That static is absent because his spirit is too anchored in truth to be fooled by her magic. Bilal is a political refugee. This diagram visualizes her home, a stable power structure recently overtaken by parasitic, dark branches. A treacherous coup has usurped her father's throne, and she is being hunted to prevent the royal line from ever returning. This coup has forced the luminous royal line into a desperate exile, dropping a celestial princess directly into the mud of the human world. The extremes of two worlds collide. A man who risks his life for a few coins, who risks her soul for the fate of a kingdom, brings the glowing princess into the stark poverty of his cabin, the heavy wooden door, the glowing light of the djinn reflecting off the rough, dirt-packed floor. The dark deepens. Then come the knocks, heavy thuds that rattle the entire frame of the house. The supernatural hunters are standing on his porch. Faces the door, his heart hammering. He uses the only weapons he has, a firm human bluff, psychological shield of a worn metallic amulet gifted by his mother, a symbol of earthly resolve that dark djinn cannot breach. Facing tensions are entirely pure and immovable. The hunters find no crack in the armor of the house. They mount and retreat into the blackness of the timber. In this the courage of an ordinary man proved more resilient than the high-stakes magic of an invading empire. As the oppressive weight on the cabin lifts, the scent of rot vanishes, replaced by the smell of rain and wet earth. It's his kerosene lantern. In its humble glow, Sidratul's alien light softens, blending into the shadows of the room until she looks almost human. The boundary between ethereal royalty and earthly poverty was erased by a simple act of shelter. When a man risks everything to shield a stranger from a world he doesn't understand, he proves unwavering compassion is the ultimate defense against any darkness, magical or otherwise.